Amina was a young girl with a passion for reciting the Quran. She had memorized many surahs and loved to recite them in different places. One day, Amina woke up early and decided to recite the Quran in the mosque. She arrived at the mosque just as the sun was rising and began to recite Surah Al-Fatiha. Her voice echoed through the empty halls, and she felt a sense of peace wash over her. The next day, Amina decided to recite the Quran in a park. She sat on a bench and began to recite Surah Al-Baqarah. The sounds of nature surrounded her, birds chirping, leaves rustling, and she felt a sense of connection to the natural world. A few days later, Amina visited her grandmother's house. Her grandmother was ill, and Amina wanted to recite the Quran for her. She sat beside her grandmother's bed and began to recite Surah Al-Mulk. Her grandmother's eyes lit up, and she smiled weakly. Amina